In every man's life, there comes a choice between two paths. One, a path full of darkness and treachery. The other, a path that is bright and playful. But what the man doesn't realize is that he must either suffer through the pain and treachery while on the path to success, or suffer through the pain and darkness at the end of the path to failure.
What a lot of self-improvement YouTubers don't talk about self-improvement is that this is not gonna be a straight up journey. And you're never gonna be just always going upwards in the direction of your goals. And you're never gonna always feel like you're going in that direction. And honestly, sometimes it's not even supposed to be like that. You're never supposed to be improving all the time. You're never supposed to feel like you're always getting better. And sometimes, you go into little ruts where, you struggle with maybe your diet, staying on track with fitness or something like that. I know I do this a lot. And currently I'm in one that, I'm trying to get out of. And let me tell you, these ruts can last for like weeks or months. And a lot of people don't talk about these. They just talk about, oh, this is what you need to do to get better. But sometimes you need to get out of a hole before you start trying to build up. You need to get out of something else. And it's not really on improving, it's just trying to get out. So, how do we get out of a rut? Well, I'm here to hopefully help you with that. And hopefully, help myself with that too. Because, I'll be honest, man, it's been hard for the past couple of months. So, what is the first step you should take? Well, if you're watching this video, probably already took the first step, which is to acknowledge the fact that you probably are in a rut right now. And that's the most important step because a lot of guys on self-improvement, they end up coping and being like, oh, no, I'm not in a rut. It's just a couple of days. It's all right. And they don't acknowledge that this has been going on for months or for weeks and that something clearly needs to change. So, congratulations if you're watching me right now. You've succeeded in the first step of getting out of a rut. But after that, what do we do? Well, most guys just immediately assume that, they can just go back to being themselves again. That, they're down here right now and they used to be up here and they can just jump back up. They can do all their habits again. It's easy. Not necessarily. Sometimes it takes baby steps. Like, let's talk about your diet. If your diet's been bad for like a week or two, you've been eating junk food every day, and then you're suddenly like, you know what? I want to go and fix that. And so you think, oh, you can easily just not eat junk food 10 days in a row. That's not how it works. You're never just going to be able to stop. You can't just jump back to where you were because if you try that, you're going to fall back down and then you're going to be hurt even more because you're like, why can't I do this anymore? And this was me. I'll be honest. I had days where I was so fucking pissed at myself because I didn't know what to do. I was trying to do the good habits. I just couldn't do it. And I was so mad because I felt like I was doing better days before. I felt like I was doing better months before when I should be doing better right now because I'm learning more things. So what happened? Well, you need to be able to recognize that like anything in self-improvement, you can't get it done like that. You have a plan to build back up. And that's why it's called building back up. You don't finish building something in one day. And you can't, build back to where you were in one day. This might take months or weeks of feeling like you're doing worse than you were when you're really taking baby steps forward. And This is what it's been like for me, you know? For the past couple months, it's not been easy, you know? I felt like I was worse than I was back when I was over the summer. You know, I've talked about this a lot. I feel like I'm not improving myself. I feel like I'm getting worse. And it's a really fucking terrible feeling, you know? Like, terrible feeling. And anyway, it hurts sometimes, you know? There's times when you really just want to quit, but you can't quit. You can't give up because you think things are going to hell, you know? It's all right. Sometimes things drop down. That's how life's supposed to be. The saying, what comes up must come down, doesn't just relate to the physical world, it relates to your mental world. Your mind's always going to have times where it's going up and it thinks it's doing so well and then it drops. Maybe it eats junk food or watches porn and it thinks that it's just a terrible thing again. And it goes up and then it drops again. It goes up. Life is never supposed to be something straight line. There's always going to be challenges and drops that cause your line to bend in both directions. And you have to learn just to accept the fact that those are going to happen instead of, you know, just making a big deal out of them and trying to fix them in one day and getting even more angry that it's not working. And, you know, because what's that going to do for you? What's getting more angry about everything you're doing and not even making progress in it? Nothing, is it? So you need to try and you need to try and take baby steps back up. You know, this isn't something where, you know, oh, it's just one day and you can fix it like that. If you're truly stuck in a rut, that means it's been weeks or months where you haven't been doing the right thing, which means that it's not going to take one day to fix it all. It's going to take weeks and months to get back to what you were doing. And especially the first time, it's going to take a long time because you have no idea what you're doing. But you need to learn how to take those baby steps. If you were eating, you know, 8,000 calories a day for 3 weeks, you're not going to be able to just, oh, I'm eating 2,000 calories now. You're going to have to drop your calories slowly. Maybe weigh the treats that you're eating. Don't stop eating them, but weigh the treats that you're eating. Track them. Try and reduce the amount you eat every day. And then boom, eventually you'll be back at stage one where you're not eating treats anymore. And second of all, if you're a teenager, you need to stop taking this so seriously. You see all the guys online that are like, "Oh, don't waste your teenage years." You're a kid. You're a kid, all right? You're not some 20-year-old man who's about to get kicked out of his parents' house and has no place to live. You're a kid. Enjoy your kid years. Don't worry too much about, "Oh, what am I gonna be when I grow up?" Like, yes, you should be working towards it, but don't worry about, "Oh, I'm gonna fail," or, "Oh, it's never gonna work out." That's not really your problem. Just enjoy being a kid because when those kid years are gone, you're gonna look back and you're gonna wanna have memories with your friends, with your brothers, with your sisters, with your parents. But if you look back through your high school years or middle school years and you see just pain because you were so angry at yourself because you thought you were gonna fail at everything in life, have those memories. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't work at all towards your dreams. I'm not saying you shouldn't be a little bit scared about it, but realize that what you do in your teenage years is not a huge deal. You know, like there are some great YouTubers that didn't start self improvement until they were 18 years old. So if you're starting self improvement now, you're already better than they were. And, you know, there are some YouTubers that talk about how they didn't really start it for years. And you're here worrying that your 6 month self-improvement hasn't been going perfectly, and you're gonna fail at everything in life because you're a 15-year-old kid who can't seem to figure out self-improvement. Trust me, it gets better. It gets easier. And I mean, if you're 15 on self-improvement, you're already way ahead than everybody else. All right. Always remember, I love you guys. Do the hard work, especially when you get to that. Bye bye.